All right, it is March 4th, and I am, thinking about summer golf. Just gonna walk through the process of playing in the U.S. Open qualifier. I've got a few goals this year, golf-wise. Would love to either advance, from a performance standpoint. My goals include, advance to sectionals of the U.S. Open. It's always been a dream of mine. I've gotten through locals once before. So I'm just going to make a little video about how that works. So, as far as signing up, basically it's open to anybody. It's the U.S. Open. If you're an amateur, you have to have a handicap of 1.4 or less. So that does not apply to me, luckily. Or professional, any type of professional can be eligible. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this out and apply for it. Got the information pulled up on my computer. There's 3 sites in Colorado that host a first stage or a local qualifier. One up in Fort Collins at Collindale Golf Course, one in Westminster at Walnut Creek Golf Course, Walnut Creek Golf Preserve, and then one in Thornton at Todd Creek. So normally when I play this event, I do it at Walnut Creek. I know that course really, really well. It used to be like my home course a long time ago. As far as the dates go, it's on like a Thursday, the one that's at Walnut Creek, which is kind of unfortunate because it means I have to take a day off of work. The one at Todd Creek, which is pretty close as well, is on a Monday, so I'm off that day. So that's the one I'm going to sign up for this year, Todd Creek Golf Club. As far as the next step, once I choose Todd Creek, then I have to pick a sectional qualifying site. There's I think about 8 of them. Let me see if I can pull them up here. About 8 sites for sectionals. None of them in Colorado, unfortunately. There used to be some here, but as part of the application process, you have to choose 3 courses. Your top 3 choices for second stage, should you make it out of the first stage. I've made it out of the first stage before. The way I look at it, it's probably, kind of unlikely to happen. It's kind of like a lottery ticket, but typically at first stage, there'll be somewhere in the range of 70 to 80 players playing for 7 to 9 spots. So typically when I do it at Walnut Creek, they set the course up pretty tough. It usually takes even par, 1 under par, 2 under par, and that's a pretty tough course, and they do set it up. They take a lot of care with how they set it up for U.S. Open, so they set it up real hard. They got the greens rolling really fast. Last year I missed it by 1 shot, unfortunately, but we'll see how it goes this year. As far as choices for second stage, I could choose to go to Japan. Probably not going to do that one. Texas, Georgia, Maryland, Ohio, Canada, New York, California, Olympic Club. Choose that one for sure. Bend, Oregon, and a bunch in Florida. So usually for me, but I don't take that much time choosing my second stage because the odds of getting there are kind of slim. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got confidence that I can do it, but of these choices, I'm going to choose, you got to choose Olympic Club in San Fran, right? That'd be a great course. I usually just look for where do I want to go play, so I'll choose that one as my first choice. Bend, Oregon's pretty cool spot, so I'll choose that for my second choice. I haven't played this particular course up there, but I've played some golf in Oregon. I have not played Olympic, but I've played golf in that area. I'm pretty familiar with that area. Easy to get to. And then for my third choice, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna pick one of these Ohio ones, just because I don't want a long flight to Georgia or Florida, so I'm gonna pick this Ohio one. So those are my choices. Entry fee costs $200. The local qualifier that I'm signing up for is going to be May. Let's see. Let me pull it up here one more time, sorry. Local qualifier is going to be at Todd Creek on Monday, May 9th. So 2 months out from today. As far as preparation for this one, I've played Todd Creek probably a half a dozen times. I played it last year in a tournament. It's unlikely I'll do a practice round out there because I know the course fairly well. I've already Google mapped it. I've already got tee shots assigned. I'll just run through that again before I play, and I'll bring that sheet with me. I did it for last year's tournament, so I've got all the tee shots all game planned already, all satellited out. Like I said, I'll review that. A lot of times when I'm doing these kind of events, I'll probably prep the week before specific to the golf course. In this particular case, the golf course really isn't, there's nothing really crazy unique about it. It's a fine golf course. I expect the greens to be medium to medium fast speed. They're not terribly slopey. It's not really a lot of trees out there. I don't need to work on like punch shots or going over trees or around trees. It's a very similar course to like a, Legacy Ridge, Omni, something like that. So no real special prep. I'll double check the tee shots, probably the week prior, and just make sure I'm comfortable with all those clubs. But from what I can remember, it's pretty much lots of drivers, a couple 3-woods, a couple of iron shots. Nothing too wild outside of that. Green speeds aren't anything out of the ordinary, so not a whole lot of specific prep, but signing up today. And if I keep making this little video series, the next time you see me will probably be the week before, the night before the event, and we'll continue from there. All right, so it's Saturday, May 7th, I think. U.S. Open qualifier is in 2 days. I just received tee times, hole locations they send out beforehand, and yardages we're playing. So able to scout the course a little this morning before work. I do have a greens book, yardage guide for Todd Creek, because I got a lot of events there. So basically what I did this morning was I took the greens book and just like dotted in the hole locations, since they sent those out, so I kind of have an idea of where the holes will be. And when I'm out playing, it's just one less thing to worry about when I'm on the golf course, if I don't have to do the math on the green to find the hole location if I need it. I've played that course enough. I probably won't use the greens book much, and I already have the tee shots planned out via Google Maps. There's 2 tee boxes that are up 1 box on the yardage, so when I'm going through my tee shot strategy, I think hole 10 and 11 out there, 10 is up 1 and 11's up 1. Well, 11's a par 3, so it doesn't really matter. So anyway, over the weekend, my game plan is just to work on the shots I know I will be needing. I think there's about 80 players for 4 spots. The tee shots that I need, generally at Todd Creek, it's just send-a-thon off the tee. I think 12 of the 14 tee shots are driver. There might be 1 or 2 that game time decision maybe, but it's pretty much mostly driver. So I'll be working on driver, of course, today and tomorrow if I have a little practice time. Approach shots, of the 18 shots I'm going to hit into the greens, 10 of them are going to be wedges most likely, in that between 70 and 150 yard spot zone. So I'll be working on hitting different distances with wedges, and then the rest of the approaches are going to be mostly long and mid irons, kind of long par 3s and into the par 5s on second shots. I think there's only 1, possibly 2 short irons, where it's like a 9 or an 8 iron. Everything else is going to be, either a wedge or some kind of a 4, 5, 6 iron, something like that. So as I'm preparing for it, like I said, I'm just going to work on those shots. I don't really need any 3-woods off the tee. I probably wouldn't even need to bring my 3-wood. If I had an alternative, I would maybe bring something else, but I can't think of anything else besides that at the moment that I would actually bring for this event. Maybe a hybrid. There's one hole where I got to kind of carry a bunker with 3 iron type of thing, and the hybrid goes a little higher, so I might bust out the hybrid tomorrow and hit a few shots just to check on the carries. But yeah, no big deal. It's a lottery shoot, lottery ticket, 80 guys for 4 spots. Now, in my experience in these things, there's probably half the field that, to be fair, doesn't really have the ability to qualify no matter what. But that doesn't mean they shouldn't be there. It just means that, you got some people with vanity handicaps, some amateurs that haven't, played tournament golf much. You've got, a bunch of 1.5 handicappers, which, that's a good handicap, but unlikely that a 1.4 index kind of guy is going to go out in a tournament from the back tees and shoot a whatever it's going to take, 67 or 66 or 68. It's just unlikely. It's probably going to be, you know, the kinds of guys that qualifier are going to be, you know, touring pros that'll be out there. There'll be probably 10 or 20 of those. There'll be some college players that are, you know, playing for their college team. Good amateurs, you know, kids that are, you know, handicap would be +4, +5, something like that. And then a few random dudes like me, you know, kind of pros that teach or work at a golf course but still compete. You know, I'm not saying I've got a good chance, but, you know, I think I mentioned it before. Last year I missed by 1 shot, so I know it's possible. Unlikely, but possible. So it's a walking event, which is about the only time I walk all year. Not taking a caddy, just gonna throw the clubs over the shoulders and slog it. You know, I'll set up the golf bag for carrying, which means basically just lightening it up, you know, getting rid of all the stuff I'm not going to need. There's probably not going to be bad weather. I think I tee off at 9:20, so don't need like rain gear, umbrellas, don't need a ton of golf balls. You know, just kind of get rid of all the extra weight in the bag. That'll be one thing I'll do. Make sure my shoes are comfy, you know, whatever. US Open qualifier, it's a crapshoot. I'll update this if necessary. Alright, so it's 6 o'clock a.m. on US Open day. Just got done at the gym. Was going to do some like light squats. That's my favorite kind of warm up, get your whole body moving. I wasn't going to go heavy. I was going to go lighter weight than normal and just do a few more reps, just kind of get hips and legs and joints kind of awake, so to speak. I don't always work out before a tournament round. It depends on the tournament time. You know, 9:20 is kind of on the edge. So I got to the gym at like 5:30. It was a short workout because the gym was way busier than normal, and I couldn't get on. And there was not a single place to squat, bench, pull up, deadlift, nothing. It was just some classes going on. So anyway, made some adjustments. Just did a little light stretch, threw the medicine ball around a little bit, found an empty bar, and just kind of squatted with the empty bar today, which is not quite what I was after, but it's fine. And not really. The goal there today wasn't to like get stronger. It was just to, you know, get loose. So, you know, did a few other things, got loose. On my way home now, I'm gonna have some breakfast, and then tee time's at 9:20. Gonna leave my house at 7:45. Over the weekend, I hit a few balls on Saturday and Sunday. Hit some drivers, hit some wedges. Been hitting the ball pretty well off the tee, so didn't really want to grind on drivers. I ended up just playing 9 holes yesterday afternoon at Omni, just really quick, just jumped around, hit the ball fine. So generally speaking for today, I don't know what the number's going to be, but you know, kind of game plan wise, I'm, you know, playing my normal course strategy optimized game, hitting lots of drivers. Need to, you know, take advantage of the par 5s. You know, they're all reachable for me, luckily, so if I can, you know, birdie 2 or 3 of those, that would be great. You know, I got 10 wedges into holes as well, so you know, would imagine that would lead to a few birdie opportunities. I just got to kind of you know, avoid missing greens with wedges. That's a big one. Keep it in play off the tee. You know, not do anything silly with the putter and make a mess of short putts or anything like that. And, you know, if I do those things, hit the ball well off the tee, and keep my wedges hitting the green at least, you know, got a chance. So that's the game plan for today, and I'll update it later. All right, heading to the course. Now, I'm making a video for this just because I thought it would be neat to do a series about this particular tournament, but just want to talk about like preparation, just generally speaking. So, you know, I may not be the best player by any means. You know, I don't have perfect control of my golf ball. I don't have a ton of time to practice, but I would say that one of the strong points of my game is just, you know, I'm good at preparing. And, you know, we're here on tournament day, and just, you know, this is probably my 6th event in the last 7 weeks. So this is kind of just what I do every single week. It's not specific to the fact that this is the US Open qualifier. I have tournaments every week. This is kind of how I approach it every single week. Goal for today is I want today to be as smooth as possible in all areas of life, really. So, as an example, my last tournament was 2 weeks ago. So from a game standpoint, I've been, a couple hours of practice on the things that, cost me in the last event, approach shots and wedges. A couple things specific to this coming course, a lot of tee shot, a lot of drivers off the tee. And that's about it. So it's not, even though I talk about it, it's not like crazy rocket science. You work on what your weaknesses were, and you practice those things to try to improve them, and then do a few little things specific to the next round. Nothing crazy there. I always map out the courses on, Google Maps or Google Earth. So I have, an idea of what I need to work on or what I need to be doing off the tee. So that's just every week I do that. It takes about 10 minutes to run through the holes. You do that whenever you have the opportunity, while you're having breakfast, or whenever. Yesterday I have the day off usually before tournament, so I spend that day not just practicing. You get maybe an hour of practicing on average, but I also just kind of get everything ready, so that today is just smooth. And today has been just like any other tournament day. It's been smooth. I planned it out. I went to the gym. My car is full of gas. I've got peanut butter and jelly sandwich made. I brought a small cooler in the car. I know at this particular course, since it's a walking course, the only difference this week compared to most weeks is walking event, and so I've lightened up the bag, and I've got extra waters and snacks in my cooler, so that when I make the turn, I don't have to carry a full round's worth of everything. I can just make a quick stop at the car and get whatever I need for the back nine. Save a little bit of weight. Other things to prepare, like last night I looked at the weather, I picked out my clothes, I made sure they were clean and steamed, and just like I'm not into stressing out on tournament day. I don't want to wake up and like, what am I gonna do today? What am I gonna wear? That kind of stuff. This week my left foot has been bugging me a little bit. I don't know why, if it's a certain pair of shoes that's been giving me some problems. I've got a backup pair of shoes in the back, different style, just in case. When I'm making the turn, if it's bothering me, I might switch it up. Golf bag, like I said, I've got golf balls. They're marked up. All my devices, rangefinder's got to change the battery in it last week, so I know that's good to go. Plus I always have a couple extra in the bag, batteries that is. I've got my GPS charged up. Double check my tee time. I know exactly what time I'm going. It's just the stuff you do beforehand just makes the day so much smoother. So and that's stuff that's within our control. Like on the golf course and playing golf, you don't have control. You can't control a lot of things. You can't control the weather, the course, the people you're playing with, your golf ball. But I can control my preparation, so I take, I'm pretty specific about it. I can control my attitude. This is, like I said, this is just another tournament round for me. This is my, like I said, six tournaments in my last 7 weeks, so I'm not particularly amped or nervous. I'm excited to go see how well I can play, and that's about all I can say. I hope I play good, but if I don't, it's okay. I'll get up and teach lessons tomorrow regardless of what happens today, so it's not a life-changing deal one way or the other. And if I I can tell you right now, after the round, I'll think about how I played. I'll enter my stats in. I will pick 1 or 2 areas to work on with my practice time this week. I'll prepare for my next tournament, which is Monday at Lakewood Country Club. So I'll work on my weaknesses. I'll scout the next course, and it just kind of, the cycle just goes on. So, like I said, even though I'm making videos, like, this is just kind of how I approach tournament play in general. I try to be as well prepared as I can, so that on tournament day I'm just, you know, everything's kind of planned out. No stress, no extra stops, nothing. I got plenty of extra time. If necessary, I can kind of be, I don't want to say lazy, but I can be, you know, laid back with my day. I'm not rushing to the golf course. I'm not scrambling to find a clean pair of pants. You know, it's just, everything's kind of calm, which is how I like it. So think about how you do tournament play. You know, if that's kind of how you do it, that's great. I definitely wouldn't overthink it, you know. That can be just as problematic if you've gone through the golf course, for example, a couple of times in your head. You don't need to like go over it 100 times, just enough to know what you're doing, and you don't need to second guess every single decision you're going to make. If sometimes that can happen if you overanalyze it. So ultimately, it just comes down to putting myself in the best possible position to play a good round of golf, which is my only goal throughout the week. And then if I do, great. And if I don't, I try to learn from it and move on. So just wanted to throw that out there. I'll be getting to the golf course here in about 15 minutes or so and starting my warm-up. All right, well, just left the golf course, and somehow, some way, I tied for the win. So I have advanced to the second stage, final stage, U.S. Open qualifying. I still kind of can't believe it. Driving home right now, it's shot 68. Obviously played pretty good. I bogeyed the last hole and thought that might cost me, but luckily, I guess I was 5 under at the time, and 4 under. Tied for the win with one other player, and then 3 under is going to a playoff. So I've got my hardware in here, sitting at a stoplight. Got my USGA hardware. This opens up for medaling. Time for the medalist. I got my documents about next stage. I don't think I'll find out where I'm going just yet until all the local qualifiers are finished up. But I'll do a round recap at some point on the computer. But man, yeah, I hit it good off the tee. That was the big thing. Made a few long putts. It's kind of how I said before. Like, things just went my way. Hit 18 was playing pretty tough. It's a tough par 5. Hit 2 good shots right next to the hole, or right next to the green. And it was really, really windy, and greens were firm, and had hit basically the best pitch of my entire life just to try to keep it on the green. It actually rolled into the hazard, but stayed up out of the water, and I was able to whack it out of there and missed a 7-footer for par. But anyway, had I don't even know, maybe 4 or 5 birdies and an eagle today. Birdied all the first 3 par 5s, and then bogeyed the last one. But you know, kind of did what I thought I needed to do. I needed to hit my driver good, check. Needed to take advantage of the par 5s, check. I needed a few things to go my way, check. You know, made 2 kind of bombs, and putted pretty good generally from like 4 to 8 feet. I think I made almost all of those. And then other than that, it was just kind of, you know, just keep it together coming down the stretch. So anyway, I will do a recap once I get home and kind of think about the round a little bit. But at the moment, I'm just pretty thrilled. So anyhow, I will add on to this for the next one. All right, so I'm going to wrap up this video series. It's the day after I just played and qualified. So kind of just a recap of everything. I made a video that it was pretty long, just a round recap, kind of like I have done 1 or 2 in the past. And so I'll add that in addition, but I'm not attaching it to this video because it gets really, really long. Recap's like 25 minutes long for anybody interested. You know, what would I want to say here? I guess, you know, next steps first of all. So, you know, I made this video series for this particular event just because I thought it would be interesting to hear about the U.S. Open, because it's a tournament everybody knows about. the preparation and the way I approach the round is similar every week. So it's not like I did anything special or different for this one. I tried to approach it just like any event, and I did. Just happened to go my way, and it's a type of thing where when I say go my way, I don't mean I necessarily got good breaks, but you know, the putter was working, the driver was in play. You know, I still had a couple of bad breaks, still had a couple of bad decisions, bad shots, but you know, I guess I would say I got away with the bad shots. You know, I had a few that were not good, and you know, got away with par occasionally, and the number was good enough. I got my medal from the USGA for tying. I tied for medalist, championship local qualifier at Thornton, low scorer. So that's kind of neat. I'll have to find a place for that on the wall somewhere. I've got a congratulatory thing from the US Open. It says, congratulations on earning a place in final qualifying for the 122nd National Open Championship. Nearly 10,000 players from around the world play for a place in the championship. I'm not in yet, of course. The final stage is, the location is TBD. It will probably be on June 6th, most likely, which is a Monday. It's 36 holes walking. I'm not sure what location I'll get. My preferences when I chose it at first, if you remember back in the first video, first choice was Olympic Club in San Francisco. Second choice was Bend, Oregon. Yeah, I probably should have looked at those a little closer now that I have made it, but whatever. Wherever I'm going, I'm going to be competing against a field of pretty strong players. So it's stage 2. You're going to run into everybody else from around the country that got through the first stage, as well as players that are exempt through first stage. So like PGA Tour players, Korn Ferry Tour players, a lot of times those players get exempt through local qualifier, and they get to go straight to sectional. So wherever I end up, it'll be likely I'll be playing against some people I've heard of or watched on TV. Likely will be in the field. I haven't game planned final qualifying yet, just because I don't know where it's at. I'll have to book flights kind of in a hurry. Decide on what I'm going to do from a caddy standpoint. I didn't take a caddy for this tournament, you know, for a couple of reasons. Not that I don't like having caddies. I certainly have a lot of players that would have caddied for me. I just kind of wanted to, you know, keep my thoughts to myself and focus on what I was doing and pay, you know, kind of control my mental state and my self-talk. And, you know, occasionally when you have a caddy, regardless of how awesome they are, you know, sometimes I'm, you know, I feel nervous sometimes because I want them to have a good time. Sometimes caddies, if they're not really experienced, they can make some errors that cost you or make me think. I just didn't have one. I haven't decided what I'm doing for this event, but I think I'm going to roll solo and maybe get a local caddy that knows the course. Maybe even take a push cart. I don't know. Depends on where the course is first. So if it ends up being Olympic Club, I'll probably get a local caddy. Somebody that knows the greens and knows the course. I'll get books for whatever course I end up going to, and we'll go from there. But got lots of great texts yesterday from pros and students and stuff like that, and it's just a great experience. I'm gonna upload this video, and we'll probably add on to it or make an additional one about final qualifying, what it's like to go to that. But I figured I'd get this one up on YouTube, and I will also put the keys or the round recap for anybody interested in like the shot by shot from that round, which I was planning on doing anyway, but was a little bit more fun with you know, the fact that I qualified. So thanks for watching.